Check this out, guys. We actually have infinite poison imbuements with the brand new Season 5 Twisting Blade Poison Imbue Rogue. But what's even crazier is not the million plus attack power, but actually when I open up my stat sheet and I show off our attack speed bonus of it being at 200%, and you can also see our crit strike chance at 100%. So what essentially is going on here is we're actually breaking the attack speed cap in the game, which allows us to go and get crazy numbers. And I actually want to start off the video with this over here. So a very frequently asked question is, how do you get over 100% attack speed? So how the game works is there are attack speeds stats that go into category 1 and category 2. In order to reach that 200%, you need to actually go into both of the categories. So in cap 1, we have all of these for the rogue, and it's different for every single class. And in category number 2, we have all of these. What we're really trying to do, because we are running Andariel basically caps you out in attack speed. Then to also get the next category, we are running Alchemic Advantage, Accelerating, and then the brand new updated Ashiras, which can give you pretty good stats actually. And this is how we're getting that 200% attack speed. So now that we have that out of the way, I want to also answer the question, how do you get infinite poison imbuements? This is a frequently asked question while I was live streaming. It's just really this right here. It's us attacking so dang fast with all these little spinning blades, and then it's this. Mixed poison imbuement makes it so you have up to a 30% chance to reduce the poison imbuement's cooldown by 2 seconds on poison imbued skills, and that's how we essentially have infinite. Now, you do have to hit the target, so make sure that you're actually hitting targets. Don't attack nothing and be like, hi, I'm out of poison imbuements, Mr. Streamer, what's going on? So you have to hit targets in order for this thing to work. It's really good against bosses, but sometimes against the smaller trash things, you really don't need the poison imbuement. But for the most part, you will have infinite poison imbuement when it really does matter, which is essentially the elites. So you're going to have pretty much, I mean, you'll see in the gameplay, there might be a second where I'm in between, I need the blades to start spinning around in order for it to then register again. So it's still pretty much infinite poison imbuements here. So for starters, let's go over the skills. We'll go over the aspects and gear, and then we'll go into the skill tree and Paragon Board. So for starters, how we use the skills, poison imbuement, you just activate it anytime it's not up. Then we play Twisting Blades. This is our main source of our damage. And then we also play Poison Trap. Poison Trap will actually do lots of different things. It applies a different bonus on the Paragon for extra crit damage, which is actually broken in the game, and it still registers as all damage. And so we play that for that. If you want to play Umbra Crux, you can. It will actually count as a subterfuge skill, and there's also bonuses on the skill tree. If you do want to invest points into it, you can get another like X15 multiplier versus enemies on this. And there's another thing where if you really want to get extra cooldown, it can reset your poison imbue. And then we run Dark Shroud. You don't have to play this skill because we have Umbros, but I had an extra slot and I just decided to throw it in, so I could just activate it at the start. It's a free open slot. The next skill, Shadow Step, we use it to break crowd control, as well as activate an agility skill for specifically fluidity on the glyphs, and then Dash just because it feels good. The optional skills are definitely going to be Dark Shroud, Poison Trap, as well as Dash. I would still keep in Shadow Step because it breaks crowd control, which is really nice. Because the build is going to be incredibly hungry for resources, Inner Sight is an excellent choice as it just gives us max resource for a set duration, and it's kind of like in between. When our resources are starting to drain, it'll basically just kick back up. It's really awesome, really helps out because we have 200% attack speed. Expect your resources to just get depleted. If you don't run Inner Sight, it's going to be a big problem. So we'll talk about solving resource problems. It's a pretty easy thing to solve. Just get a greater affix on the energy per second. It's not too hard of a roll. That is in the boot category. But in theory, you could run on the chest piece if you wanted to drop materials, but you really don't want to be dropping Andariels. If you want that 200%, like breaking the game attack speed, then you definitely need to be running Andariels. So as far as gear goes, let's go over it. Now, I was actually playtesting. If you guys want to check out my VOD, I played it with everything. Like I tried a Harlequin, I've also tried Andariels. You can play it with either. It's actually quite great with both. The lucky chance on Twisting Blades isn't the greatest. I actually really just like this for the attack speed, but since we're scaling poison anyways, it's not a bad thing. It does technically output more DPS, but with the Harlequin, you also get bonus ranks to the poison imbue, you get all the other defensive stats, and on top of that, you get ranks to Twisting Blade, which then scales all of the damage anyways. So it's really good to play either. So it's up to you. What do you prefer? Harlequin is going to make you much more tanky, but the downside is obviously that you don't reach that crazy amount of attack speed, which honestly you don't need to hit. It's more of a flex than anything. I'd say play either, choose the one that you want, or maybe if you are lacking one or the other, you could also just run Cal of the Nameless if you don't happen to have either. That's an option, but you are going to be dealing significant less damage if you don't have Harlequin or Andariel's, but that's a mythic unique. Of course, it's going to be good. Next up, though, we have Tyrion's Might. This is going to solve all our resistances, and it's just one of the best things in the entire game. Then we got Fist of Fate. It's a pretty decent item just for the extra bonuses on Lucky Hit, which can help out with other bonuses because you have bonus Lucky Hit to physical damage skills, which is actually really great, and it gives you attack speed. Crit strike chance is still kind of usable because it works with Umbris, and then there's like that random RNG of it doing some crazy amounts of damage, and that's just on your attacks. It's up to you if you want to drop this or not. It does apply a lot of bonuses, and I do like to snapshot into a Creeping Death, so all of the bonuses can be okay. There's also another great use with Creeping Death, which is an aspect that I like to put on. If I get one of the Infernal Hordes mods, it says like the elites are unstoppable, I just equip my weapon with that, and then we just like one-shot everything. It's fantastic. But Fist of Fate, I just think that they are still actually pretty good, but you can just get any gloves to like rings to Twisting Blades. It's totally fine. This is kind of more optional. I just think that it is like really fun to play around with because it just starts crowd controlling everything, which could activate your Frigid Finesse and all these other bonuses like on like crowd controls, so to speak. And then we're also running Umbris. It's in every rogue build you got to play out. And then you can run like utility freeze, whatever. It doesn't really matter too much. Now in the boots, this is important. You need greater affix, energy per second, and ideally, if you can masterwork it 1 or 2 times, that's good. You don't need to get triple masterworking on it, but it's still going to be a huge thing. If you don't have this, you do need to get resource costs in your weapon. It is going to significantly lower your DPS, but it's a give and take. So if you guys really want to be able to spam, because remember, you're going to have crazy amounts of attack speed. If you want to run Harlequin and drop the attack speed, then you don't really need that energy per second. It's up to you. I'll probably maybe make a separate dedicated video towards like the non 200% attack speed, but this one's way more hype, and I wanted to give you guys something cool at the start. And you can actually play this whole build without Poison Imbue, but it's a completely different build, and I'll make a separate video for that. But you definitely want to try to get energy per second and Andariel's. It just makes the build feel super cool compared to everything else, because 200% attack speed is crazy. Then we're going to be putting Blade Dancers or Accelerating. It depends on your rolls and your attack speed, but you'll probably get over 200% in the game, and at that point you don't get any benefit past 200. The game doesn't let you really go past 200 unless there's some other bug that I'm unaware of. But yeah, there's no attack speed category number 3, which is actually really important. But basically, this is what you want to look at. I'll link it down below. But yeah, you basically just need a Shearus and Accelerating, and then this is just going to be on the tree, and then you're going to be able to get that 200% attack speed. And then we are also running Accelerating Aspect. You can get Alchemic Advantage, Exploit, Frigid Finesse, any of the offensive ones, that's great. The cheapest thing, though, guys, is to get a Greater Affix on +2 Dexterity, and then any other offensive stat, and then go ahead and just roll the other one on. If you want to try to get like a triple offensive one, those are in like the babillions of damage, or the babillions of resources. Like, you're gonna have to spend so much gold to actually get that thing. It's just really, really expensive. So getting like Greater Affix Dexterity is good, because Dexterity got a buff in Season 5 as well. And then Starless Sky is obviously a really good item. And then we have Inner Calm over here. This is kind of an optional slot. If you want to run Creeping Death, that's fine. I don't like Creeping Death because it does like 0 damage against the bosses until they're staggered. Even though you think Fist of Fate may stagger the things quite fast, I just like to have the damage up. You know, this is still 30, and since it multiplies off of itself, you get it actually more times. It's more than 30 in terms of the way it works. It's kind of like, was it the those 2 rings in Diablo, the set items, those rings where it's like 50% more damage, it actually multiplies off itself, so it's really good because of that reason. And then we're actually running Doombringer for crazy amounts of survivability, as I drop Closer and Turf on the Paragon board to squeeze out more damage, so I sacrifice damage here, but we get way more damage overall with running Doombringer. This is just one of the best things in the entire game, man. This thing is so dang good. And then we run a Shearus. Shearus is actually pretty good. It got some buffs. It's got Lucky Hit, so it kind of helps out. It's got Weapon Mastery, which is a good thing. It's also got Critical Strike Chance, which, again, you really don't need in this build, even though, like, I have 100% crit. I'm not even trying to get crit. It's just that Starless Skies gives it, Fist of Fate also gives it, and then you get, like, natural just stun by like investing into things on the Paragon board, and you have a flat rate of 5. Again, I wasn't even trying to go for crit. We could probably get even more damage if we didn't have like some crit, but you have to get crit on Starless Skies and Fist of Fate. It's like you can't roll it off because it's just on the unique. And then as far as the other weapon choices, check the notes. I wrote some notes down here. Like, if you want to like swap other things, you can run Corruption, Efficacy if you want to. I actually don't think those are smart, because then you don't get the bonuses off of Andariel. You want to scale all your damage, not just your imbuement damage. But Intercom, Edge Masters, run whatever you want if you want to swap one of these weapons. But if you want to reach that 200% attack speed, you got to run a Shears. And then as far as our gems go, we want to do damage over time. And then you can actually throw in Emeralds because Doombringer is incredibly tanky. That's why I really like running Emeralds, and that's why I like running Doombringer. Basically solves your survivability issues, but if you want more survivabilities, obviously rubies are going to be your way to go. Now, as far as the skill tree, let's go ahead and go into that. We've got in the very beginning, let me actually make this bigger for you guys. So in the very beginning, the first 2 points don't matter because we don't like running basic attacks here. We run just spam Twisting Blades. We got that Daze effect over here. There's also another one to get like cooldown reduction. If you want to get it, it's really not that bad because you have so much crowd control application with the Fist of Fate. But yeah, it's not a bad thing. And then obviously Sturdy. And then we get into this. I love running Disciplined Shadow. So I like putting the 3 points into it. I think it's absolutely worth it. Same thing with Methodical Dash. It just makes the whole build feel super smooth because you're able to just dash around really, really fast. And then Dark Shroud, since we don't need to get crit in the build because damage over time does not scale with crit, we're just running this. So we're going to be even more tanky. I mean, if you just pay attention to the HP, it's just like really not dropping. We could probably just get away without Doombringer. I actually snapshot and I swap to not running Doombringer once we get to the boss, a lot of times in the Infernal Hordes. And then I just like 1 point in Poison Trap, but if you want to put more points, you can increase the damage or reduce the cooldown of your imbuement skills. And then we get Exploit Malice, kind of like the bread and butter of every rogue build. Maxing out Poison Imbuement, also getting the mixed one. And then we get Deadly Venom, Alchemic Avenge. This one's not bad either. It's just 15% damage reduction if you get 3 points into it. And then like every single rogue build, Frigid Finesse. And then this one, I opted not to run Second Wind. If you want to play it, it's really not that bad. You can still temper it on. But the reason why is because we play Inner Sight. And then we have Alchemist Fortune, and then we also have Innervation for more resources. This helps out because you're going to be burning through energy fast. And then we drop the extra movement speed because Momentum actually gives us movement speed anyways, so we don't really need it, which is excellent. And then for the Paragon Board, this is where it gets quite interesting. So in the very beginning, if you want to drop Exploit to do higher tier content, by all means do it. But the lower tier content, I love being able to apply the vulnerability. So you need some sort of source of vulnerability. So that's either a Curse Touch, or you can get it on your amulet or on your ring. I actually opt to put it on the ring. It's the chance to make enemies vulnerable. Another thing that's important that I should mention is that you definitely want to try to get the Poison Imbue last for bonus cast on your one ring and on your amulet. You could make another ring with it if you want to. It's not really that bad. Ring of Star Sky is just kind of like objectively just too good to drop, but then you're going to have some resource problems, so you'd have to also roll like a resource cost reduction on your ring category over there. But yeah, you can get additional poison imbuements with that as well. But I just suggest amulet and one ring because the other one is going to be much better. And then going back to our Paragon board over here, I just feel like Exploit feels really good. So for starters, we're running Exploit on the first board. Then we move up to the second one, which is going to be Exploit Weakness with Versatility. And this will count with the imbuement because it's non-basic and non-core skills. I was hoping that this would work with Andariel's, and since Andariel's isn't a skill, it doesn't work. If you really want to, you could swap this out. It's not that big of a deal, but it does work, and it gives you some more damage. And then we go into Cunning Stratagem with Tracker, so it's more poison effects, last a little bit longer. And then we're going to go back through this board. This is going to be our fourth one with Cheap Shot and Fluidity. So when we cast an Agility skill, we get to do increased damage and get extra regen. And then we play Canny over here, because the whole build is based off poison, so non-physical damage. And then we also get the Eldritch Bounty, which makes it so when we attack with the imbued skill, we get an additional 20% increased damage of that imbuement, which is, of course, going to be poison. And then we get No Witness Devious. We definitely want it over here because we get all of the nice little benefits because its bonus applies to the magic node, so you get all this extra bonus HP. And then over here at the very end, we get the Deadly Ambush, and we put in Bane, so extra poison damage, as well as getting that awesome amount of 22x damage. I know it says crit strike damage. It's a lie. It just works like that. But anyways, guys, yeah, this build is really, really fun to play. And if you're a really big fan of like the OG Twisting Blades, it is definitely back in action. You can see the bosses aren't bad at all. The boss fights, unlike other builds that sometimes would take several minutes, it's not going to like one-shot the boss. It's not like the Lightning Spear Sorceress, but it's very respectable, and you can complete it within, I would say you could probably do it within a minute, which I would say is like where people consider, okay, it's pretty good. It's not like a 5-minute boss fight like some builds, like any Barbarian build just takes super, super long, but you can see the HP, we're attacking this one over here. So it's still like definitely super, super doable. It doesn't feel like super slow. But if I was to say, is this build better than the Barrage build? No. The Barrage build simply right now is the best. I mean, you can hit for billions of damage, whereas this, you can definitely get ticks for over 100 mil. You can see there's 132 mil, and again, remember those tick 2 times per second, so you multiply that times 2. I've seen it over 250 mil, so half a bill is definitely what you can go for, but the Barrage Rogue is simply, in my personal opinion, going to be superior in terms of what I would suggest as far as like the best rogue build. But Twisting Blade is still very respectable. It's still definitely like an A or an S tier build. It's very, very good. But just as a heads up, if you wanted to play a build that feels even more responsive, because Twisting Blades, you got to impale them, it's got to come out, and then it's got to spin to get the maximum damage, right? Whereas other builds like Flurry, it's just damage, 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 damage. Flurry also has teleport. I recommend you guys to check out the teleport Flurry build if you like playing a melee rogue. I still think Flurry is better, but Twisting Blade is one of the the kings of the OG best builds, and it is still definitely back, and it is definitely respectable. It's a very, very good build, but have some fun with it, guys. Let me know if you have any suggestions or questions in the comment section below, and the pin will also have the planner build guide, and I'll also be making another update to this build, as I do want to cover a non-poison imbuement build, which makes it even faster, as long as you happen to have the correct mass ring. But that's gonna wrap things up. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. If you're new here, hit subscribe, turn the bell if you guys want to see more updates, build guides, and more things Diablo and other games very soon. Take care.